In the quiet spaces between heartbeats, in the stillness that rests beneath the surface of our everyday minds, we begin to notice that not all love is born from the same source. Love, in its truest form, radiates from the soul. It is unconditioned, boundless, and spacious. But the love that springs from the ego is something else entirely. It is transactional, filled with longing for approval, a need to be needed, a grasping for security. Zen teaches that true love is not possession, nor is it sacrifice. It is freedom. In our early lives, we learned that love was earned through behavior, obedience, performance. We were taught to earn affection by meeting expectations, to hold others' comfort above our own. And that belief lingers, shaping how we love now. We measure affection by how much we give, how much we apologize, how much we mold ourselves for another. But this is not love. It is a silence that asks for applause. The first sign that we are loving from ego, not soul, is found in expectation. When we love with a quiet bill in hand, waiting for repayment in praise, loyalty, closeness, we have stepped into a transactional arrangement, masquerading as connection. The soul does not account. It simply trusts. Ego tracks the ledger. You did this, I should do that. Look for a moment. Do you love your partner because you want to serve them, or because you want them to serve your sense of worth? True presence in love stands on its own ground, unconditioned by reaction. When your heart hesitates, ask, who am I loving? For them or for me? The ego's love is fragile. It retreats at the first sign of discomfort. The soul's love stands gently, even in silence. Notice how when love is challenged, does your mind rush in to defend a version of yourself built on being a good partner? Or does your heart lean in, curious? The second sign of egoic love is control disguised as care. When you love to shape the feelings, thoughts, or words of another, to comfort your own fear, a checking question becomes surveillance. A thoughtful gift becomes restraint. A conversation becomes negotiation. The soul watches and trusts. The ego quizzes and instructs. Watch when your love carries a hidden agenda. Thirdly, egoic love fears emptiness. It distracts, numbs, performs to avoid the silence of self. When you cannot sit in the space of your own presence without a performance, you are caring more for your image than for your soul. The soul wishes for stillness, to sink into the moment, not fix it. Finally, anytime your sense of being loving is entangled with control, praise, performance, protection, notice it. Yes, love can feel pleasurable. Yes, shares of affection can feed our hearts. But if the thought I must keep them close, or I fail ever surfaces within, you are in the realm of ego. The soul knows no count, no ledger, no contract. It simply offers the unconditional, a sunrise, a breath, a moment of communion. And so, we continue the journey inward, softening into the sacred recognition that love, in its purest form, cannot arise from a mind caught in the grasp of ego. Ego clings, demands, and fears loss, while the soul gently offers, trusts, and surrenders. As we deepen this inquiry, a third sign emerges, a subtle yet potent marker that we are still loving from the small self, conditional love. When our giving of love depends upon what we receive, when affection is measured, tallied, or withheld, we are no longer loving from the expansive space of soul, but from the contracted state of self. The ego asks, what am I getting? The soul asks, what am I offering freely? True intimacy is born not from the transactional, but from the transcendent, from the quiet knowing that love given without expectation is the only love that heals. Watch yourself when you say, I love you, but, or when disappointment creeps in, because your love wasn't mirrored exactly as you hoped. The ego keeps a ledger. The soul writes poems. The ego compares, competes, and calculates. The soul sees beauty, even in rejection. Let yourself dissolve these subtle conditions. Sit quietly with the discomforties of giving without return. Let your love be your own reward. Can you bless the one who leaves? Can you wish peace for the one who cannot love you back in the way your heart imagined? If so, your soul is present. When soul begins to lead love, relationships become less about holding on and more about holding space, less about being understood and more about being understanding. This is not about martyrdom or abandoning your needs. It is about releasing the illusion that your value comes from being loved in return. The soul already knows its worth. The ego forgets, and in that forgetting, it pushes and pleads for reassurance. Every time we demand validation, we must pause. Every time we react from fear, we must breathe. And every time we feel the urge to fix, change, or possess another, we must gently return to stillness and observe the origin of that desire. It is in that quiet watching that the shift begins. The move from loving to be loved toward loving, because love itself is the most sacred expression of our being. When we stop needing others to reflect our worth, we free them to be who they are. We stop asking them to be the salve for our unhealed wounds. We become whole. We become light. And in that wholeness, we attract not drama, not chaos, not validation, but resonance. The kind of love that doesn't ignite fire through friction, but through presence. So let go of control, of over-explaining, of performing for affection. Let go of becoming the perfect partner in order to stay. Let go of turning yourself into a mirror to make someone stay. Stay with yourself. Hold your own gaze. In the silence of your own heart, ask, am I trying to be loved, or am I living as love? Let your answer soften you. Let it unburden you. Let it walk you home. As our awareness deepens, the third sign becomes clear, not through words, but through resonance in the heart. When love becomes a quest for control rather than communion, when the invisible strings of expectation tug at the soft fabric of connection, egoic love whispers, if you only loved me more, I would feel safe. While soulful love whispers back, I trust you, even when the mirror wavers. So often we attempt to guide the course of intimacy. Who says sorry first? Who calls last? Who says I love you? As if timing and script make love real. Zen teaches that love is not choreographed. It is spontaneous presence. It blooms not when conditions are met, but when the soul is allowed to breathe. When we demand reciprocity, gratitude, or affirmation before it's freely given, we stitch cords of pressure around the relationship, turning what could be liberation into the theater of expectation. Notice how subtly this appears. Wanting your partner to meet you at the door after work, to plan with the sensitivity you long for, to respond in the words you hope for. Each unspoken demand builds the architecture of ego's yearning. But the soul, like the sky, doesn't demand response from the earth. It simply holds space. It reigns and waits. It shines and sustains. When you begin to untangle the knotted threads of desire for specific responses, you reclaim the freedom to love without transaction. You invite another to meet you, not to repay, but to join. And that invitation is sacred. Let your gestures flow from listening rather than planning. Let your affection rise, not from rehearsal, but from presence. Practice giving love without expecting resolution. Practice grace when your offering is not met. Practice silence when your questions go unanswered. And as the tides shift, you will discover a new intimacy, one not based on comfort zones, but on courageous honesty. You become okay in vulnerability, okay in not being perfect, okay in letting love move in ways you can't control. This is the soul's invitation, to risk emptiness in order to meet fullness, to surrender your storyline of fear in favor of the living story of heart meeting heart, not because it must, but because it can. And in that surrender, you are no longer pleading for connection. You are sharing in it. You are no longer managing love. You are flowing with it. You are no longer pushing your dreams into someone else's hands. You are walking together into unfolding mystery. Take a moment now to find a quiet place. Let your body settle into stillness. You can sit or lie down. Just allow your spine to lengthen gently and your shoulders to drop away from your ears. Close your eyes if that feels safe, and bring your attention softly to your breath. Feel the breath moving through your body, like waves coming in and going out. You don't need to change anything. Just notice the breath. Inhale slowly and exhale gently. Allow each breath to be a signal that you are returning home. With every inhale, feel the nourishment entering your being. With every exhale, feel yourself letting go of striving, letting go of pressure, letting go of the noise that tells you are not enough. Bring one hand to your heart, if that feels comfortable, and feel the quiet rhythm within you. This heart has carried you through joy and sorrow, through effort and grace. Let yourself think it just silently. Now gently whisper within, I am enough. I am safe to be who I am. I choose to love myself, not in ego, but in truth. As you sit in this space, imagine a warm light surrounding your body. This is your own love, your own kindness, your own sacred presence. Let it wrap around you like a soft blanket. Let it hold you, the way you've always needed to be held. There is nothing to fix in this moment. There is nothing to prove. Just this breath, just this space, just this return to yourself. If any self-doubt arises, just acknowledge it and let it drift like a cloud across a wide open sky. You are not your thoughts. You are the one watching harmony with love. Take 3 deep, mindful breaths now, inhaling deeply and exhaling slowly. Again, inhale deeply and exhale slowly. Once more, inhale and let it go. As you begin to come back to the room, gently wiggle your fingers, your toes, keeping this softness with you. And when you are ready, open your eyes, or simply remain in stillness a little longer. You have just practiced an act of sacred love, and the beautiful truth is, you can return to it any time, because it was never far. It lives inside you, always. If this message brought you calm, this space is always here for you. Subscribe, return, and walk this quiet path with us, one breath at a time. Until next time, remember, ego seeks validation externally. The soul knows the truth lives within.